Anybody can hear me?
Yeah.
See and see me also.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, again. Okay, we'll start the class now. We will sharply finish at 3:30 today because of I have to do something. Can you move again? We will start the class with prayer. Close your eyes, palms together, seek the blessing from your Guru God, Goddesses. To enhance the knowledge in the astrology. Once you feel you are done, slowly put it. Okay. Today the same agenda. We are going with see the Pocharam first, then followed by the classes. The end of the session, we are discuss about the horoscope. Okay. Today's Pocharam, Chandra and the Guru in the Mithuna, Ketu in the Simha, Surya, Shukra in the Kanya, Mangal, Buddhan in the Tula, Rahu in the Kumbha, Shani in the Meena. Okay. So one thing here I have to mention. Every time I mention about, you have to check where is the Chandra and where is the Chandra in the Pocharam. This is the one point you always have to see every day. This is for everyday law. Okay? Whenever the new year born or any kind of the auspicious occasions, check the yearly planets also, like Guru, Shani, who else? Ragu and the Ketu. Okay, this is whenever there was a special occasion, make it as one point as the starting point. So repeatedly do the same thing for every year. Okay. But the other grahas, the Mangal, Buddhan, Shukran, Surya, when you have to see, when the Surya is the star of our entire chart. So whenever there was a, every month you have to see where the sun was moving. Give me a second. Okay, where the sun was moving, this is you have to see every month. Okay. So whenever there was a month, when the Surya was moved, okay, what's the cursor on the back of it? When the Surya was moved to from the Kanya to the Tula, you can remember that because at least for the next 1 month, the Surya will be in the same Rasi. Okay. Then we have left it with the 2-3 grahas only. One is Bhutan, sorry, only 2 grahas. Oh, I lost the cursor, sorry. Okay. One is the Buddhan and another one is the Shukran. So how I can see this? When I see the Pocharam, how I can combine it with my Pocha? How you can see that? Whenever the Buddha in your the Buddha Graha in whichever Rasi in your birth chart, compare, check whether that is coming in the Pocharam also. Like imagine a situation, you have the birth chart. Okay, now the Buddha was in the Tula Rasi. Imagine your birth chart is also having the Buddha in the Tula Rasi. So this is the moment you have to check yourself how your intellectual thing was moving. It's come to your favor. It is aggravating or it was pleasantful. These all the things you can make a report for. Okay, but when it comes into the Chukra, you have to see many things. But at the one point, we start with the Chukra from this week onwards. When the birth chart and your Pocharam chart aligns the same in the same Rashi, like imagine a situation in the Kanya Rashi in your birth chart also Shukra, and in the Pocharam today it is a Shukra along with the Surya. Okay. See, when this kind of the combination was coming, check your how you are spending. Are you spending for any the thing which is not needed, or are you spending for the luxury items? Are you planning to buy anything luxury, or the money is incoming to you, or cash is outflow from you? Check all these things. We came to understand when the Chukra was in the particular Rasi, what kind of the nature you are behaving. But this all the thing which I say, this needs a tremendous patience and you needs a lots of effort and work. Okay? But it will comes as a practice. Now, I believe everybody was practiced with the Chandra all the days, at least for 2.5 days once. Okay. Now we come into the practice with the Surya for every month. Okay. So when the days
Vanita, Buddha planet is what is the duration?
you
Buddha.
tell me what is the duration, how much it will be. Okay,
Yes,
now let's see about this. So, the sun, which one is very much nearer to Surya?
Mercury.
If Buddha is nearer,
Buddha.
next is the Venus. Yes or no?
Yeah.
When the sun revolves around the earth in 1 month of the time, how long it will take for the Buddha to complete its moving from one Rashi to the another? If I'm not mistaken, we learned this in a very extensive way in our fundamental classes. Yes or no? Anybody
Yes,
remember?
I've forgotten. Yes, I've forgotten.
Okay, the easiest way to remember is when the sun was finished, move from one Rashi to another, it takes 30 days. Then definitely the Mercury will take more than days or less than days. Okay. It
Yes,
approximately comes. Okay, let's see as an example in a
Approximately 2 months.
23 days, I think.
less than that. 25 to 30 days. The days is not that much of exact. It comes around 23, 25, or some days it comes around 28 also. Okay. Okay, now let's see about the Venus. Then how long it will take? When the Venus, Buddha was very near, consider the situation, Venus was next to it, and then the other guy was the Mars. How long this duration will be approximately? You count on that about. Venus may take about the 30 to 35 days, and Mars may take the 40 to 45 days. It's an approximate value. The days may not be considered, but when you keep your eyes on the Kocharam chart every time, you exactly pointed out, okay, this is the day the Buddha is transferring into this Rashi to this one. And now you have an understanding about the Chandra and the Surya, right? So when you see the Chandra in the Mithuna Rashi, it will take only 2.5 days to move into the next Rashi, correct? So now we have eye on the Surya also. Surya will take 1 month to move from one Rashi to another. Now keep an eye on the Buddha and the Venus and the Mars also. These are the short period of the traveling planets. You can easily find out. Keep an eye on the Surya. You already know it's 1 month of the time. So whenever you see the Surya, check about the Buddha also, because every day when you are seeing the Kocharam chart, you see the different understanding about the Kocharam. Is this okay?
Okay.
But every day, whenever you see the different kind of wisdom will come to you automatically, no matter what. No one need to say anything to you, because why I ask you to see the Kocharam chart every day? Because that was the cosmic energy directly giving the knowledge. You may see it as a magic, but it comes to you automatically. Where very first time when my guru was saying this, in the Tamil they call it as the Iranilai. When you deeply in your meditation, the Iranilai will give you all kind of information whichever you need. Whenever you see the Kocharam, I say the same thing again. The cosmic energy will give you all kind of the knowledge. It looks like a magic. When you believe, when you see the Navagrahas as the real Navagrahas in front of you, you will see the difference. Yeah, that's a boring topic. Let's coming into the.
Vanita, 1 minute. I got Astro Stage, but I can't open Rashi chart. How to do it? Astro Stage I got, but I can't open a Rashi chart. Gochara chart is not coming.
You can't
Astro
open the Rashi. Are you trying in the mobile or in the laptop?
Mobile. Astro Stage I got app.
I will help you after the class, because
Okay. Thank you, madam. No hurry.
Yeah.
Madam. No hurry.
Okay, let's see about the Panchang. Tidi is the Sashti, followed by the Saptami. Yoga is a Varyana, followed by the Pariga. Nakshatra is the Mrigashirsha followed by the Ardra. Karana is the Vanija followed by the Vishti and the Bhava. Weekday is the Ravivara. Paksha is the Krishna Paksha. Okay. Now the one question here. Everybody knows which Tithi you are born on. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Which yoga you born? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Which day definitely you will. I take it as a liberty. You know this definitely for sure. Okay. Which nakshatra you born on? Yes or no?
Yes.
I guess everybody know. Okay. Now about the Karana. Which Karana you born on? It's mentioned in your horoscope itself, but whichever software you are using, it is mentioned in the Panchang section. If you didn't see your Karana details, check yourself first. Okay. And importantly, which Paksha you born? Yes or no, right? I believe
Yes.
it's a majority yes. Okay. If you didn't even check about this 5 details, definitely make a note of it. Consider it as a homework. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I missed it. Sorry, that's a delivery code. I am here. Even if you didn't know about the Panjang details, consider this is the homework for you, and definitely have to make sure you have to know which tithi you born on, which nakshatra you born on, yoga and the karana, paksha and the weekday. Okay? Let's get it.
Vanita, just one question. We covered all the planets except Mangala on Mangala in the Gochara.
Okay. I thought to do it the next week. Okay, let's see that today also. Okay, when there are the three grahas which having the very short period, right? One is the more 3/4 of the month. One is the more than the 45 near to 45 days, 30 to 40 days, and other than this after more than 48 days. So this is the Mangal, Budan, and the Venus. These three grahas will have approximately less than the 48 days. Okay, it travels very close to the sun, but having the less amount of the period to move from one graha to the another. So whenever you have the combination in your Buddha, Mangal, and the Shukra in your birth chart, and the Gocharam is also having the same combination. What is that meaning? When in your birth chart, Tula, in the Tula Rashi, you have the Mangal. And in the Gocharam also, you have the Mangal along with any Graha, or it's alone Mangal was there. So that is the day. Look after how is your are you engaging fight with someone? Are you reacting over too much? Or is there was any auspicious occasions come? You maybe plan for your marriage, plan for your surgery, or what kind of the thing when the Gocharam and the when in your birth chart when it was exactly the Graha was matching, particularly for the Mars. Even if you don't believe also, the significance of the Mars will happen on that day, no matter what. But what is the question here? How much it will affect in my life, whether it is the good or the bad, how I can take it. If, for example, even if it is the good or bad also, something bad is happening to you. But if you know it earlier, at least some minutes, some hours earlier, you may make up your mind, right? Some kind of settlement, some kind of emotional saturated will happen. You can face a situation just like you already face a situation in your life. So that is why you have to see the Gocharam and along with your birth chart in your mind. So whenever you see the Gocharam, you are not only seeing the Gocharam, you have to compare against the birth chart. So this one practice will take a difficulty because sometimes you may forget your birth chart or you are not interested to see the Gochar. So make it as a practice to see the Gocharam every day. Then one point in time, your birth chart will come and align exactly with the Gocharam. In the initial days, you can place the birth chart next to it and see the Gocharam, compare against and find the details. Okay. But when every grahas do its work no matter what. When the Buddha and Mangal was happening, this combination will be there. The love flourished between the couples. If the man and woman were, the boy and girl was, is the same proposal may happen in their life. They may get, it's not only about the couples, they may get the different partnership request. Sometimes they may get the different kind of the relationship with someone. It may comes. The graha which sits in that particular Rashi, it will do its work no matter what. But what is the things you have to find out is I'm going to get benefit out of it or I'm going to get nothing out of it. It's a kind of an how you make in your mind only. But that kind of the saturation will take time. In the process, it may goes ups and downs. Sometimes you feel like whenever you see the horoscope and you find out an answer, if your mind was not settled enough, it will make you through. It will make something hard for you. It may not digestible for you. You feel like, oh, something going to happen, something going to happen. You may think of it. That's why I ask most of the time if you exactly say what repeatedly whatever I'm saying. I ask you to meditate. I ask you to chant. I ask you to sit for meditation at least 10 to 20 minutes. Why? This all the groundwork we have to do, because whenever you see the chart, that kind of the painstaking emotion you should not take, even though if it is your own mistake. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, because I thought to include one planet every week at least for an hour. So now we include all Navagrahas all together. So take a time, digest it, but move slowly. But when you see the understanding, sometimes if you feel like you overwhelmed, that's a part of the journey. That's totally fine. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, the only solution is go and meditate, go prayer and chant. This all the things you have the remedy in your hand. Or else go whichever the thing you feel meditate. Some people, one of my friend was saying, whenever I go for a walk, I feel like meditating. Oh, whichever you feel like meditation. Don't do that. It should not be sitting in the same place and you control and some kind of pain doing insisting yourself. Whichever your meditation, follow that. Some people will say, no, I go for a swimming, I feel meditation. Go there. Try and see. At the end of the day, the solution is you have to ground yourself overwhelmed with the emotion. Okay, let's go. Let's get into the class. Now we are seeing about the second lord. We already know about what is the second lord will. Second lord will tell you about your domestic happiness. It comes with what you come. It tells about your wealth. It tells about your speech, how you can communicate. It's not about the communication exactly about the speech. Communication comes under the third house. But how well you articulate the things, how well you can explain anything to others. That kind of the information, well, simply it is the wealth, the speech, and domestic happiness in the second law. Significance of the second law. Now, if the second house having the benefit sign, you will definitely have the good speech, flow of money will be good, the domestic happiness is in another hand for you. It all comes, is a great auspiciousness. But think in a vast way. If it's not contained in the second house lord is in the Dushtana, or it's not in the combined with the benefic graha, it combined with the malefic graha. So what the worst case will comes. Your cash flow will not be sufficient. You feel like the money was drained very easily. Whatever you earned, it will goes away. And whichever you try to speak, your mind goes fast and you can't articulate the words whichever you want to think. the domestic happiness is not in your hand. That kind of the reverse side of the life will come when the second lord is not in the auspicious condition. Okay, but in a good situation, second lord was in having the benefic sign. That means the benefic graha was in the second house, or the second lord was in the trikona or in the kendra. It's good for you. The auspiciousness increased, so you can able to speak well. The money flow will be good, and the domestic happiness is in established every phase of your life. Okay. Now, mostly it's about the face, speech, and finance. Keep that in mind. There are many things that are significant by the second lord and the second house. But importantly, the three things you have to remember: your face, speech, and the finance. Okay? Now, we already know about the second lord. Second lord in the first house, when there was the second and the first combination was coming. Then a situation, we have this Lagna and your second lord in the first house. Okay, this is the Venus is the second lord, right? So now Venus in the Lagna. So there was a connection between the second house and the first house. Definitely, the money flow will be good. They are good in the financial position and they are very rich when they are born itself. When the second lord was sitting in the second house itself, these people are financially sound no matter what. Okay. Now the second lord in the third house, this is the Bhavat Bhava. Why the Bhavat Bhava? Imagine you have the Rishabha Lagna and your second lord is the Buddha. Buddha was in the third house. So for the second house, this becomes the second house. Okay, that is why it is a Bhavat. So they are very good communicators. No one can match with them. Well, let's go with the second lord in the fourth house. When the second lord in the fourth house means they may involve in the real estate business, they may take the profession as in the speech as well. It can be involved in the dental doctor, EMT, and other stuff. Okay. Now getting into our class. Second lord in the fifth house. Okay. Now tell me about the second house. What the second house will represent in a simple word. If you want to represent second house, we'll see about the lord later. Now think about what is second house. First house is called as a lagna, right? Second house, what is that? No.
Dhana Bhava.
Dana Bhava. Awesome. This is the Dana Bhava. And what is about the fifth house?
Putrasthana.
Putrastha. Okay. So now here the second lord, who's the Dhanasthana lord, is sitting in the fifth house. That is in the Putrastha. The second house represents your speech, your language, your literacy, the financial management. Any kind of the financial management can be involved in the speculation market, or it can be in the finance or accounts. Okay? Now the fifth house is mostly about your children. It's about your creativity, how you think, how your brain was working, the individual can able to conceive or not. What is your spontaneous reaction? Any kind of an amusement, whichever you follow in your life, that comes in here. And your amusement along with the humor. Okay? Then analyze, calculate everything under the fifth house. So now the second house and the fifth house going to combine it together. So what does that mean? If I have the mean lagna, then which is my second house?
Mesha.
Mesha is the second house, right? And which is my fifth house? This is second house. And this is fifth house. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a connection between the second and the fifth house. How is it? Second lord in the fifth house. Who's the second lord here? Who's the lord of the second house?
Puja.
Mars.
Mars. Kuja. So now the second lord in fifth house. Exactly, there was a connection between the second house and the fifth house. So the connection was established here. Second lord in the fifth house. So here, they may be involved in the profession which is relevant within the second house. What is the second house was representing? Can be any in the finance, it can be in the speculation market, and the fifth house is also for speculation. So they can involve in the financial market with the speculation. These peoples are wonderful in their calculation, and their forecasting is better than anyone. If some people's, whenever the peoples are involved in the speculative markets, they not only forecast for the 10 years, 20 years, they forecast the market for 50 years also, along with all the natural disasters which is coming, which is upcoming in the forthcoming futures. Okay, the, whatever the things which they have to consider, they considered everything. That kind of the calculation, that kind of the speculating ability, these people will have. So they can be involved in accountant also. They are the financial wizards, or they involved in the speculation market like stockbrokers. And they have the wonderful speech. No one can match with them because the second lord was sitting in the fifth house. And they involved in the lectures and professors also. But the second lord in the fifth house, one more ability here, it's also Putrasthana. They may get benefit from the children. Okay. Possibly they are the writers of the books. They are linguistic. Importantly, when someone was asking you, I have a thought and I want to write a book. Is that possible for me? If the second house lord was sitting in the fifth house, you can tell them there is a higher possibility they can able to write a book. And there, most of the people, if you ask them, whenever they have the different kind of an imagination, when the Chandra was sitting within a different particularly position, their imagination was well defined. And they want to write a book, no matter what happens in their life. Even though they can't write, also they want to write. They may ask this question: can I write a book? If the second lord is in a fifth house, they are best persons for writing book. Yep. Because of the speech, they are well defined in their speech. You can't find a single mistake in their verbal encounter. So they're very good for this person in any level. They can be an organization level, it can be a state level, it can be a country level, or it can be any kind of a zone level. Very much in the speech. There are the higher chances if the Surya was placed in a good position and the second house and the fifth house was having this benefic graha, then there is a higher possibility these people can make a greater impact in the political career. And if the humor is the next sense for them, when the second lord was sitting in the fifth house means the humor was combined because the second lord itself sitting in the fifth house. So the two things are combined. The speech and the humor are combined. So the wittiness will come as the byproduct. No matter what happened, when they speak itself, you feel that amused yourself. Yeah, they are the great. I would say they are great comedians in the world. Mostly, they can be okay. Their creativity is also plays the biggest role. There is a possibility they may become a physician because of the Putrasana, the second lord was sitting. They can be become well this one this profession also. Okay. Next thing is about the health. Okay, when it comes into the health, mostly it involves the brain related or anything involved in the head level. Because they get more stressed. You may ask the question, how come it is possible? The fifth house is for in a different body parts, the second house is for only the face. How come they get the brain effect? When the fifth house, the creative is involved, they think a lot, they stress themselves a lot. So the most probably their illness will come in the brain level. And because of they have an ability to handle the stress, but they didn't have an idea how much the stress they can handle. So that leads them to the headache and other kind of the psychological stress as well. Because the second lord was sitting in the fifth house, we have to see the entire chart. But probably they may have the conception related issues also. If it was the health related problems comes into any individual. Okay? Anybody having second lord in the fifth house?
Yes, Vinita, I have.
Who's
My
this?
Lagna, Nina.
Okay,
My
okay.
Lagna is Taurus, and my second lord will be Mercury, and it is in
Second
Kanya,
lord Mercury is in the Kanya, along with
along with Sun.
Hmm?
Along with Sun.
Sun. Okay, which one is matching with you? Which one is not?
Headache, definitely. I get a lot of headaches, you know. It's, I don't know, it's hereditary also. My father used to get and my grandmother used to get, and I'm suffering constantly from headache. So that is there.
Constantly suffering? What is that? Your voice
Headache,
was
headache.
headache. Okay.
Headache.
Hmm.
And the rest is also matching a lot. Humor, I'm not so sure, but I think yes, it's part of my, not so much, but yes. And
Wait
well, I
here.
do financial calculations
Wait
well
a
for
minute here.
others, not so much for myself.
Okay, now imagine. Okay, this is the very good point. You feel that you didn't have a humor, right? Then there is a question will come. The
Okay,
Mercury
maybe the
goes
sun.
here. No, wait a second, wait a second. This is a wonderful understanding to see this. Mercury and the Sun in the Kanya Rasi. Now imagine a situation, the Mercury and the Sun in the Mithuna Rasi. What is the difference between these two? Now, we'll keep aside your horoscope for a while now, for a few seconds. Now, let's see the difference. Now, Mercury and the Sun in the Mithuna, Mercury and the Sun in the Kanya. What is the difference here?
Both are same lords, no?
Oh, the same lord, right? What is the big deal here? Any idea here? Why this difference? Because both are the same lord. But what is that?
They have exhausted is
Not
Mercury.
in my horoscope. One is the second house and one is the fifth house.
No. Imagine a situation, one horoscope was having the Mithuna Rasi. I didn't put one more chart here. Imagine a situation, one horoscope. Okay, let me put it. I'll go to the question.
Okay.
Yes. This is the Nina's chart. Okay. Now imagine once, because we didn't conclude with Nina, in the meantime, we are interrupt her speech to find something. The other person is also having the Vrishaba Lagna. But here the second house was contained Mercury and the Sun. What is the similarity here? Both the lords, the house lords are Mercury. Here also Mercury, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
The Lord is Mercury. Here is also Mercury. The same Graha combination. Here is also Mercury and the Sun. Here is also Mercury and the Sun. Now, what is the difference here? What is the difference between here
Exaltation.
Okay, exaltation. Next. But even then, okay, when you see the exaltation is the difference, the exaltation is the Mercury. Here in the Mithuna Rasi, it's in the own house. It makes 100% difference. It shows the 100% result, but it possibly 78 or 75% of the result. So it won't be a big difference, I would say. But then, what is the basic character was there was a difference between these two.
In case of Kanya, Sun is in its second house from its own house. Does it make any difference?
Let's concentrate on the Mercury. That your point is really valid, but now concentrate on the Mercury. But I will give you one clue. The person who born on this one Rishabha Lagna, but the Mithuna is a Mercury and the Surya. This person was ultimate humor in nature. But when you see about the Nina's chart, Nina's was telling I'm not human and that I didn't even encounter. Is this possible? Really possible? How is that possible? this person, when you see any of the individual who's having the Mercury in the Mithuna, even when you speak with them, even the sun goes along with them, their speech will be really witty in nature. The humor will be sprinkled every paragraph of their speech.
Because that is the second house. No? Second house is connected with humor.
Okay, even if you say, if that was the thing, okay, let me change this one. Like, consider this is the Lagna and that is the fifth house. That scenario also, this condition will apply. This person is very much humor in nature. Why? The same lot, same combination. Why the difference? Okay, I have to give it as a homework. This is interesting, right? Yes or no?
Yes, in this case, Aquarius Lagna, that is fifth house. No, fifth house is also humorous.
Yeah. Fifth house is humorous. But the humorous
No,
significance
what is the
here.
difference between Mercury's two houses? That is the basic question, right, Vanita?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
See, the fifth house here you said was correct. Okay, it is a humor. But the humorous significance when it emerge out for the individual. Okay? Imagine a situation when the sky was like here. And even then also, this combination, when it was present here, kind of the humorous will be there. But not in the speech, but whenever they are doing the job, the humorous will be there. Okay, now I leave it as a homework to you. If you didn't find an answer, please remember me. If you gave this homework on that day, please give us an answer. Okay, if you didn't find, you find, I'm really happy. Is that okay? You can take it as a homework, or you want me to explain?
Please explain, Vinita.
Okay, let's see. Okay, when you see this kind of the Buddhan and this kind of the Buddha, okay, this Buddhan is materialistic in nature. The business mind was very much active when this Buddhan was for any individual. This Buddhan was active means they are materialistic in nature. They're they have the humor. It's not like they're imagine a scale of the 0 to 10. They have the humor, but it's an average level. It comes around here only. But when in the Mithuna Rasi, it was you will find out the reason why I'm saying this also. What is the element here? What is the element of the Mithuna? Everybody forgot the fundamentals?
Air. It is
Yeah.
air.
Give me 1 second.
Dual nature.
So that okay. These peoples, when the Mercury in the Mithuna, what their tendency was a really flow in nature. They want to enjoy the human. The materialistic level for them will be really in the average level, normal human beings. But when the Mercury here, the materialistic level, the thinking of the business, thinking as a business, a woman, a man or woman, their level, their tendency will be high here. It doesn't mean they didn't have a humor completely. They have the humor, but at an average level. But when it comes in here, their humor level is completely established. When they're trying to see anything, they see it as a humor. They see it as a humor. You may see any of the people who have this. When they are speaking, also the wittiness comes along in the speech. What's the difference between because of the element which is in air and what is the element here in the Kanya?
Earth.
Air element. Air element.
Earth.
Kanya also, yeah.
Earth.
Yeah. Okay, now you understand why the materialistic behavior was coming, correct? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Is that confusing?
No.
Awesome. Okay, when you remember the element which we see in the Kala Purusha chart, remember that one, that is the basic for us. Okay, you should not forget that. Whenever you see this Mars, the Mars is also two planet, right? There is a difference between the Mars in the Mesha, Mars in the Vrikshika. Same goes for Venus. Venus in the Rishabha, Venus in the Tula. There is a difference. So how you can find out? Whenever you remember the elements, whenever you see the horoscope, find out the difference. Okay, this is the Venus was sitting in his own house in the Rishabha. Venus was sitting in the Tula, but what is the difference? When you compare against while you're learning, it will be easy for you. Okay. Now this is awesome. Now come back to the Nina's horoscope. Nina said it was the Rishabha Lagna. The Mercury along with the Sun. Okay, that's nature was good. When the humor and the pittiness should not be in the average. So that's why she didn't even feel that, even though she may have insight, but the understanding about the humor will be really less. This is awesome. What about other things? You said about the headache also. Do you have any problem if you're married? Any
Kind
problem?
of financial planning. That's also, I think I'm good at it. What else should I say? Well, I'm more, I like to do more intellectual work, I don't like too much of frivolous things. So I can say literary and linguistic. I like to learn, just study and learn more. That's part of my, and stress. Yes, I take a lot of stress, but I try to cope with it also. I think that's what gives me the headaches.
Awesome. That's speaks a lot. Anybody was having anything? Let's move into second one. Second lord in the sixth house. Now we know about what is the second house. It's about your speech, speech, your face, your wealth, money, cash in, cash out. That means your liquid assets and your domestic happiness. This is the second. Second lord significance is also same thing. Now comes into the sixth house. What is the sixth house will represent? Anybody?
Roga Rana
Report. Okay.
Ripu.
Now the triple R, that means your enemy, debt, and the disease. So we already know about the second house. We know about the sixth house also. So now when these combine, what will happen? The second house lord was sitting in the sixth house. That means the second lord comes into the Dustam. What are the things it may become? Mostly, this becomes the auspicious sign when comes into the sixth house. These people, there is a possibility they may become a legend, or else at least they become celebrity in their life. If you see any of the stars that the people who become famous, one or the other way, the second and the sixth house combination will be there. Second. Now, if you see, there was Kadaga Lagna, and which is the second lord here? Surya, right? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
And which is
Surya.
the sixth house? Dhanush is the sixth house, right? So
Dhanush.
when this kind of the combination, that is the second house, the second house have a relation with the sixth house. When this kind of the relation was established, these people will encounter only success in their life. They didn't have a word loss in their life. Most of the time, their life goes like this. The downhill will be little bit here and there in their life will come. Sometimes they feel down, sometimes they may up. But when you see from far away point, the life goes like this. Okay, when all together in a simple way. When you see the second lord was sitting in the sixth house, you feel like happy. It's good for them in either ways. But when it comes into the health, it spoil most of the time. It comes into the respiratory disorders, or they may encounter some kind of the skin problems if the Buddha was not in a good place. They may encounter the serious skin disease. It can be leads to the eczema also. Or if there is a possibility they may encounter some kind of the stomach issues also. Okay. Anybody having second lord in the sixth house? Hmm?
Vinita,
Anybody having?
I have second lord in fifth house, like we discussed, but I have skin diseases and I have stomach issues also. So how could that be connected?
In that we have to see the other planets also.
Okay.
Your
But
Rishabha
what I
Lagna.
meant is both the health issues you mentioned are with me.
Rishabha Lagna and the sun.
Lagna, Rishabha.
Rishabha Lagna, right?
Yes.
Is this Mercury was combust, or what is the degree?
Mercury, 1 minute. 28 degrees.
And the sun?
4.
It is not combust.
Not combust.
But you have
I
the
just
skin
thought
and
in general, if you
okay, there
felt
was a
any.
one. What is it?
No, that's okay. You can carry on. I just thought in if case there's any connection.
Okay. When you see about the fifth house, this fifth house is also known for its Purva Punya. That is, whichever you carry from the past life, which also comes into this life. But whenever there was the skin disease, or this is a general thing, this is not much related to the astrology. This is I learned from the different quality. Whenever you have the skin disease, most of the time you are compensating or dealing with your past life karmas.
Okay.
Most of the time, that is the point. And if you see in your life, this is the point. I had a skin disease from my 20 years to 30 years. Some people will say I had this skin disease from my 20 years to 35 years. They will tell you the some range. The range means they are dealing with their karma. Particularly when the skin was having a disease, it's mostly related to the past life karmas only. But
Okay.
how we can relate with here? Fifth house is also for the Purva Punya. That means the past life, whatever the things which you carry on from that life to this life.
Okay.
That is also deals with your skin. But when the respiratory disorders will come, we have to check other things also.
Okay.
We will keep that in mind. We'll come back and tell you that why it was happening. Okay?
Thank you.
Let's move into the second house, second law. Second lord in the seventh house. Second lord, we already know about. It is for the money. It is for your liquid assets. It's for your speech, your domestic happiness. Comes under the second lord significance. Now, the seventh house, it's about your spouse, partners, your boss, client, customer, whichever you come across in your life, and you partnership in one or the other way. You partnership with your boss for your work, partnership with your client for your business, your customer retail business, whatsoever the things. You come across and do your action as a partnership. So that is your seventh house. Now let's coming into here. When the second lord was sitting in the seventh house, means it's an auspicious sign, greater sign. Why? Your spouse may come from a highly respected family. They establish their own business. They become entrepreneur in their life. Mostly the men or women, their spouse may involved in a business. They do their own business. They stand on their own leg. Even some people, it may be from the family business, or these people can create their own business. most of them, mostly 100% of the people, your spouse will be professional in nature. And altogether, when the second lord was sitting in the seventh house, it's good in all aspects when you see from your spouse. When you see in the people may ask, if for the men or the women, if he or she comes from the good background, or the earnings is good, the saving is good, how come they bring the wealth to us? What were the things? When you see the second lord in the seventh house, it's a super good sign. You can say everything was staying in a good aspect. The spouse, he or she may come from a good respected family. Anybody having a second lord in seventh house? Okay. Move on. Okay, for a second lord in the eighth house. We already know what is the second house. Now let's move into eighth. Eighth house is kind of the thing which you know about any hidden treasures. Can be your hidden knowledge, hidden secrets, occult science, any hidden treasures, your poor vitality, your transformation. It's a house of mystery. Whatever the thing which is you learned, which even other people cannot able to learn easily, or it's a kind of you're learning a mystery, your longevity explained in the significance of the eighth house. So when the second lord was sitting in the eighth house, okay, here is the thing. Second lord now sitting in the eighth house, which is the Dusthana, what it will become. The second house represents the face. Now this guy was sitting in an eighth house, which is the house of mystery. They definitely have the charismatic face because the second lord was sitting in the eighth house. Definitely they have the very charismatic face. Even though they feel like no, I didn't have many sources of income. No. Maybe at this point in time you may not have. The Dasabudhi was not in the place, but when the time goes, when you reach the correct time, you definitely have the many sources of income. Like people may list one. I have the 12 lines of income. I have the 10 lines of income. If you see that kind of the people, definitely they are second lord in the eighth house. Not only they have the many sources of an income, but they also have an ability to manage that wealth. This is the good nature for anyone. Give me a second. Oh my God. Oh. These are a rare combination. You may have this many sources of income, but what is the chance if you then have an ability to manage your wealth properly? So if this is also a yes and this is also a yes, this is a greater combination. Okay. This important things is come from when the second lord was sitting in an eighth house. The eighth house is also for the research. It gives the individual kind of a tendency to research. So that's why they are much more research oriented. The second house was sitting in the eighth house means they command over the land. Possibly they may get the money from the eating or catering services. This is the possibility. Or they may spend their money in this. Okay. Okay. Anybody having a second lord in eighth house?
I have a chart, Vanita. So
Yeah.
Kataka Lagna.
Give me 1 more second. Okay, Kataka Lagna.
Sun is placed in the eighth house along with Mercury.
Sun, Mercury. Okay. So, why we are meeting Sun and Mercury together today? Okay. Which one is matching? Which one is?
He is in his 20s, so many sources of income, can't say much. Wealth management, yes, he's still learning, so don't know when he will become very good at it. Research oriented, yes, I can vouch for that one. And also,
What about their command over the
can be
language?
seen at the.
Your voice is breaking.
Yeah.
Your voice is breaking. What you said the last one?
Okay. Command over language, I can see that. Research oriented and command over language, I can see those two traits.
This one you may see it in the coming days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now we'll move into the next topic about the horoscope. Okay, let's see about. We'll finish the 9, 10, and 11, 12 in the next. Okay, about the next week. Next week is about the upcoming of the Diwali. Everybody is okay to have the class or how it will be?
Okay for me, Bhava.
Okay, we'll send you a WhatsApp message. We'll decide on that. If everybody says yes, I can. If everybody says no, we'll cancel the class.
Diwali is 20th, right?
Yes, Diwali is 28th. But the
Okay.
people will prepare for the Diwali, right?
Okay. Celebration. Okay. Got it.
Basically, Deepavali is on multiple days actually. So starts
Yeah.
No, the Diwali is supposed to be Naraka Chaturdasi. That is supposed to be the
yeah,
Diwali,
Naraka Chaturthi.
which is on 20th. Because 21 is Amavasya.
When I was studying, my entire family was preparing for Diwali for 1.5 months. They prepared the entire. It was really a joyful memories, and the entire 1.5 months, everybody in the family was busy. They do one or the other things for the Diwali, and now it was slowly reduced. We're not even busy for the Diwali before day also. Okay, we'll so quickly finish with the horoscope and. See. We are seeing the Vasanti horoscope. We already know about the Lagnam, Karka Lagnam, Vrishchiga Rasi, Dashabad, Venus, Saturn, and the Mercury. Okay, we already know about the Lagnam, Lagnadipati. Lagnam is the Karka Lagna, Lagnadipati is the moon, Kendra Tribuna, we already saw that. The Grahas present in it. Yogakaraka is the Mars, if I'm not wrong. Grahas combination, we already see what of the Grahas combination was combined. And most importantly, we have to look for the Rashis, which is having the more grahas. When we see the person gives horoscope, there are the 2 Rashis which give that kind of an idea, which is 3rd house and the 5th house. And we already know about the exalted, depleted moon house grahas. Okay, now we see a little bit about the Parivardhana. Yesterday, last week also I said we will see about the Parivardhana in the next week. Okay. Simply now, if you see the Parivardhana, the logic is very simple, but sometimes a little bit confusing. Yeah, let me see. This is Venus in the Simha Rasi and the Sun in the Tula. What do you see about this? Is this Parivardhana or no?
Yeah, they are exchanging their houses.
Yes or no? Why? Because the Venus is the Lord of Tula and the Sun is the Lord of the Simha Rasi. Now, what is happening here? The Sun is sitting in the Venus house, Venus is sitting in the Sun's house. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay, awesome.
Right.
Yes.
Now we'll see the Parivardhana in a different light. One is about the Mahaparivardhana. What is it Mahaparivardhana will do? When the lords of the Kendra 1, 4, 7, 10, the lords of the 1, 5, 9, when they are interchange each other. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, when we see that, let's consider Meshalat. Okay. Now the one person was born on the Meshalat. His Kendra was Mesha, Kadaka, Tula, Makara. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Now the Trikona, how it will be? One is the Lagna, that is Mesha. Then another is the 5. Then the Guru is a Dhanush. Now, when these lords, who are the lords here? 1, 4, 7, 10. 1, 4, 7, 10. Who are the lords here?
1, 4 is Mars.
Mars,
Mars.
And
Moon.
Moon.
Then
And
7.
Venus.
Venus. Then 7, 10.
10 is Saturn.
Saturn. Now 1, 5, 9. We already know what is the lord of the Venus. Who's the lord of the Venus? That is Mars. Who's the 5th lord? Sun, right?
Venus, Sun.
9th lord is the Guru. Okay, now the situation like this happened when the Mars was sitting in the Dhanur and the Guru was sitting in the Mesha. See, Guru, this is Guru. Okay, now what do you see this? You understand this point?
Yeah, they're exchanging the places.
They're exchanging. But here, this is the Mahaparivartana. Why they are calling it as a Mahaparivartana? The Lord who is in the Kendra, the Lord who is in the Trikona, both are interchanged. You understand this one point, right? Yes or no? The other two are easy. Once you understand this one, the other two types are really easy. The other things are called the Kala Parivartana. What is it Kala Parivartana means?
Vinita, this Mahaparivartana, any single one can
Any single one. Or you may see there was a possibility there are the other two grahas are also. You may see the two Mahaparivartana also.
Okay.
By it may possible, may not possible. Probability will be. Now let's see about the Kala Parivartana. Here the Kendra lords, who's see who are the Kendra 1, 4, 7, 10. We already saw here 1, 4, 7, 10, and that is a Mars, Moon, Venus, and the Saturn. Now the Dusthana. What are the Dusthana? Tell me.
6, 8, 12.
6, 8, 12. Who are the lords?
Mars.
6. Who's the lord of the 6?
Mars.
8th is a Mars. 6th is a Mercury.
Mercury.
12th is the Guru. Now, if the exchange was happening between. Okay, now here is a twist also. Okay, now let's see this. And when you see this kind of the Parivartana, this is the Mahaparivartana. Imagine a situation. I don't want to miss. We'll go with the same Mesha Lagna. I thought this. Okay, what do you see? What do you see this one? Mercury in the Mars house, Mars in the Mercury house. But what is the big deal here? The Mercury is the 6, 8, 12th lord. Was sitting in or was having the exchange between the Kendra. Why? The Mars is the Kendra in the 1, 4, 7. Then if you see that. So there was the exchange of Lord, the Lord who's in the Kendra, exchanging between the Lord of the Dustam. This is easily understandable, right? Okay. When the Mahaparivartana happens, it was a greater auspiciousness. You will have the full benefit out of it. But when the Kala Parivartana was happening, it comes in both directions. How much benefit you will get, that much struggle also you will face. It was kind of the 50-50, like 50 bad, 50 good. But when the Mahaparivartana was happening, it was ultimate good in your life. Okay, then the last one was the Tanya Parivartana Yoga. It is the exchange between the 6, 8, 12 itself, the Lord of the 6. And now this is the Kala Parivartana also, and this is the Danya Parivartana Yoga also. Why? The Mars is having that different capability here. He is also the Lord of the Dusthana. He is also the Lord of the Kendra. But there is also one exception. I don't want to say that exception now. We'll see that later. But keep that in mind. Now, when there was a Dusthana Lord, between the Dusthana Lord, there was an exchange happens. Then that becomes the Daini Parivartana Yoga. Okay, what is the benefit out of it? Complete challenges only. See how you see this. This is the 100% benefit. Mahaparivartana Yoga, you will attain all the benefits out of it. Okay. Now this is the mixed result, kind of a neutral. You won't see you are growing up. You won't see you are coming down. you will see you was in the same phase. But when the third one was coming, literally falling down. It was like you always in the ground. More, it's like you going down every day. Okay, you understand this parivardhana, right?
So the
look,
last
Yes.
Parivartana is something like a Viparita Raja Yoga.
yeah, Viparita Raja Yoga will come, but depends upon the other exceptions are met. Then you consider it as a Viparita Raja Yoga. But most of the time, when the Dustana was the Lord of the Dustana interchange, the Viparita Raja Yoga may or may not come into your life. Okay, the Viparita Raja Yoga also, let's see about that. You see
Vanita,
the, you encounter this.
Vanita, you wanted to finish at
I
3:30.
want to take a screenshot.
Yeah, I finish it here. Okay. Now, when the challenges was comes into your life, between when this was happening, you may encounter a number of challenges. But if Dashabati was happening good and your Pocharam is also in a good phase, you may reap the benefit. But you have to be careful in every other way. It depends upon the Grahas present. Imagine a situation you have this kind of the parivardhana was happening in your life between the Gustana lords. You have to be very much careful about your documents, very much careful about your you should not engage in any kind of the small fights also that may lead into or endanger your life. So that kind of the caution you have to taken. We will see about the Viparita Raja Yoga also, but keep this one in mind. When there was a parivardhana, when you see the chart, see this kind of the possibility. Is there any parivardhana in the chart? But slowly, when we move on, we will see the other Raja Yogas also. But this is the basic thing. When you read the horoscope, you have to keep that in mind. All things comes in front of you. Okay, these all the things. Now I'm going to read the chart. Okay, but it takes a time. But when you practice, it comes very quickly. Okay. I thought of finish the first house. Okay, I spent 2 minutes. Then I will quickly finish it. Okay, we'll wind up the class one. Okay. For her house, the lagna is the Karka lagna. No, mostly what you see about in the first house, it's about the ascendant, how the ascendant looks like, how the personal life will be, the nature appearance, mostly what kind of the person will be. Everything represent in the first house itself. The first house in the physical body represents your head. Some people will say face also, but comes in the second house. But mostly it's all about in the head. Okay. Now, this is the quick of itself. This is the chart we are going to read. Ascendant is the Karka Lagna. The moon was placed in the Vakshika, which is the fifth house, that is in the Trikona. But here is a twist. The moon is depleted here. Now tell me how the ascendant will look like. Now we are mentioning about the physical appearance. If Vasanthi was present, please don't get offended. This is all about our study only. Okay. How the person will look like. You take 1 minute or 30 seconds, whatever comes in your mind.
If all was good, then they would be very pleasant looking. But because of this debilitation of the moon, they may not be very good looking. Is that correct?
But it was in the Trikona. Is that not good?
Okay, so then it will have good effect.
Don't compromise with me. Then you can argue, right? Also, in the malefic planet, the moon is debilitated along with the malefic graha. The moon is going towards the Mars, and that is also not giving an auspicious sign. Then the Mars and the Ketu combination will be there. That is also not good. So anyway, the Lagnadipati was debilitated. Lagnadipati was combined with the malefic grahas. But the only possibility of auspicious which we are seeing here was in the fifth house, that is in the Trikona. What are the other possibilities? You can see the auspiciousness of this individual. Okay, consider it as a homework. Then you have to find out when the moon is debilitated, but still in the Trikona, the person, how the person will look like. There are the very simple thing, right? The moon is debilitated at one point, then sitting among with the malefic grahas, there is second point. But these two representing it is not the good sign. But the only good sign here is the Lagnadipati was sitting in the Trikona. Is that makes the person very beautiful in nature. How the physical appearance makes beautiful. If the Lagnadipati was sitting in the Trikona, is this possible? If the person is beautiful or not, we'll have to check with the Vasavi. But before that, consider it as a former. It's all a possibility, right? You have the Graha, the Lagnadipati itself debilitated. The Lord of the Lagnadipati itself debilitated. And along with the malefic Grahas. Then you have to find out how
He will
come
not
this
be
person.
he will not be in the mood or something. Means he'll be moody and not happy. Not in good mood because of that.
No. When the moon was debilitated, when the mind was debilitated, means they may not
Debilitated.
express, but they're not moody.
He'll be
They
depressed.
may not get expressed. But that one also we have to see where the sun was where the sun was present. The sun was present along with the Mercury that is in the combusted. Now the sun was going to represent the speech also. So that's a kind of the twist here. So don't go into the, but stick along with this idea only, or else you can explore your ideas, but find out these are the possibilities, right? Whatever we understand, these are the possibilities. But there was one point we are missing. Is there any aspect to the Lagna? Quickly. Any grahas aspecting the Lagna?
Kuja.
Kuja? No.
8th
Why?
house.
No, this is
Oh,
7.
sorry. Sorry.
Guru Mangala Yoga. There was no graha combination thing. I didn't find. Looks like a Rahu, right? Yes or no? Okay. When you see about the Lagna, you have to see the Lord, because why we are concentrating on the moon only? Because there was no graha present in it, so we have to consider the Lagnadipati only. There was no graha, that's why we consider moon. Now we understand what is the moon. Moon situation was debilitated along with the malefic grahas. But one condition, it is in the Lagna. Then we have to see the aspects. The aspect looks like Rahu was there. Rahu was aspecting that. Then we have to find out, arrange all the puzzles in together, then find out one answer. So consider it as a homework. Anyway, we're going to discuss the same horoscope next week also. But this one, the first house, you're going to tell me how it will be. Okay? Is that okay? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We will see whether we are going to see next week or other week. It may happen to everyone. If everybody was joining in the next class, we will have a class. Okay? I will send a WhatsApp message. You will decide based on. Okay, then see you all next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank